People who spend their holidays in Algarve come mostly in search of sun and beaches. But there's another Algarve, the one that reveals when you fully immerse in its nature. Ride the roads less traveled, savor the local vibe, and aren't afraid to go further, with eyes wide open. Alright, let's hit it. When you warm up with a ride or two along the coast, avoiding the bigger climbs at first, the fun time starts. I personally love this part the most. As the buzz of the coast fades away, you find yourself on small roads entering cork and eucalyptus forests and start winding up. The smell of all the flowers fills the air, everything calms down, and it just feels great. On the coast there's plenty of roads, but not all of them are asphalt. So for me on the gravel bike it's alright to take shortcuts and freestyle a bit, but for the road bikes it's better to have a plan and plan it with street view, so you know exactly where to go and where it's alright, because some roads look like this. And when the jerseys need a rinse, there's plenty to do around while they're dry. Most appealing are the cliffs and ocean views along the coast. There are plenty of villages offering coffee or a meal by the ocean, and of course the famous beaches, if you are a beach type. We observe an interesting inclusion of the touristic life on the coast. You can still see glimpses of the life people lived here before the hype. Farmhouses surrounded by luxurious villas, abandoned coastal houses left to fade a few meters away from the housing complexes with the ocean view. Farm animals roaming around. It's a fascinating contrast of the life of those who call this place a home and those who visit seeking the sun and waves. We are here in Portugal in time to see the Volta ao Algarve, the road race. Guys are super excited, they have a whole plan to see the peloton as many times as possible, and today we are on the way to see the start of the whole thing in Portimão. And I'm going mainly to have an ice cream.
Bača neví, kdo je Val, ale to nevadí, tak jí mám ráda.
Tak to je milý. How do I get out of this? This is Foja, the most famous hill around, a place where all the cyclists go to compare their times on a tough Strava segment. And also a place where everyone went today to take a look at the finish of the second stage of the Volta ao Algarve. Who was strong enough could go back to Portimão with some of the baddest riders. I was not.
Kofidis, am vezmu.
Depending on what direction you go, you can catch a different vibes along the way. In the mountains, it's mostly slow and rural.
Oito espressos? Oito? Oito. Espresso, café pequeno. Oito. Dos.
When you go west, you sense a whole different vibe. Sagres, surfer's corner of the area. You can feel the ease in the air as you roll through the town and along the beaches. Well, if you don't get a windy day and have to fight against the wind while trying to catch the vibe. On the way there, we take the straight roads. We aim to reach the most southernmost point, San Vicente, before we come back to Sagres to sip a coffee and have a pastel de nata.
Espresso, pastel de nata, and Coca-Cola.
How we could even go through the video and not mention the best Portuguese coffee companion of all. On the way back, we turn right in Raposeira and take a really lovely coastal ride. So we are on the last ride and it's Monday, and we just learned that the bar we have planned for coffee stop is closed on Monday. But the man saw us from the window and he was like, yeah, there is no other open bar nowhere near. And he made us coffee anyway.
5 cakes and coffees.
Coffees.
Americano. 3 Americanos.
Ale, asi nedám.
3 Americanos.
A ten si po práci dal vždycky
Obrigada.
No Americano ještě?
It was so nice, otherwise we would have to pedal to this big hill to get to Monchik to have a coffee stop. Well, we pedaled there anyway, but with the coffees in our tummies. Beautiful, and our favorite rides also await you in the direction of Malau and Mup, other famous hills. One tip we have for you is to pack a rain jacket. Algarve's weather can be a bit moody, especially in spring, and it's always good to be prepared. But no matter the weather and no matter which direction you take for your ride, there are always some interesting spots along the way. So, what do you think? Will you give it a go? For us, it always feels good to come back.